behind how UFOs are moving and getting here, then it really is game over. But it's not, and it's also the beginning of a new civilization where we don't have to be hooked into the petrodollar linear energy system that's cannibalizing and destroying the planet. And that's really, to be honest with you, people say, why are you doing this film? And I said, I'm doing it because we've got to have a mechanism to raise awareness and also raise the funds to create a professional research and development lab on these new energy issues. It can't be done in an amateur way and in a divided way. It has to be done in a way that's very well organized and well supported. And that's never happened. We'll spend $5 or $6 million. The city of San Francisco spent over $5 million just to have someone study how to get energy from the tide going in and out through the Golden Gate. Well, for that amount of money, we could build a lab and have these scientists bring out several versions of these new energy technologies.
In the 1800s, John Keeley invented a way to use frequencies to dissociate hydrogen and oxygen out of water.
Correct. And, of course, so did Stan Meyer. And a lot of people don't know that the Stan Meyer stuff really did work. But, of course, he dropped dead and took the secrets to the grave because his patents are full of false information because he was too paranoid. And that's one of the problems with these inventors is that they're always too secretive. And by the time they think they can get it out, something terrible happens. And we've got to learn from this. It's best just to put it out there. That's what we've done with disclosure witnesses and documents. Same thing with these technologies. You simply, once you get something operational, you put it out there, and you can't worry, if you get into this, like Apple worrying about their iPhone 5 or something, you can't get into this sort of paranoid inventor syndrome because that's going to get you killed, or it's going to result in it being bought out and black shelved. So we've got to learn from this history, and that's why we're doing this film. And by the way, I know we've heard from a lot of people who are still wanting to get into the premiere. We have about 200 seats more that we might be able to release that have been committed to the people who crowdfunded the film. I want to be very clear on this. But we're waiting until a few more days to see if they're going to be able to come. I mean, people donated from South Africa and Australia and New Zealand and Russia, and a lot of those people obviously are entitled to the 2 tickets that their donation for the film entitles them to, but they're probably not coming. But we're waiting to hear an RSVP from them.
Répondez, s'il vous plaît.
Yes, before we release their tickets. So people, if you want to sign up at Sirius Disclosure, SIRIUS, disclosure.com, and you can just put in your email address, and we will send you notifications of where we're doing these premieres. But for the LA premiere, I think we're probably going to be able to release another 200 or so seats. But right now, we have to give, the right of first refusal, as it were, to the people who are entitled to those tickets who made the donations to the film. But we know that many of them aren't going to be able to come. But it is April 22nd at LA Live, and we're probably going to be doing one in Washington, D.C., the week of the mock congressional hearings that Bassett and his group are doing. And then we're going to have one here in Charlottesville, Virginia, near the University of Virginia. And we hope to have a premiere in outside London or in London this summer, so stay tuned about that. And everyone, I really want people to visualize this, that everyone listening who's concerned about these new energy issues, the future of the world, higher consciousness, and our new civilization, you can all become a distributor of this film by signing up. We're going to be, if you sign up at our site, we'll send you a link that the Video on Demand group is setting up, where every single person, say you've got 200 people on your email list, you can become a distributor to those people. And this is how we'll turn it into something viral that just keeps going around the world over and over.
Right.
And David, I'd invite you to do the same, because this would be a fantastic, and if you have a pet charity you want to donate the funds to, or if you just want to put the funds back into the new energy lab we're proposing to build, you can do it either way. And I think this is how we can really build a momentum where we don't have to go to corporations, government, or even just rich individuals to fund this energy work, but it's done by the people, for the people, and will be, just like the film will be distributed by the people, the funding for this new energy research needs to be done by the people in a way that it can't be taken down by one big funder or one corporation. So this is the very viral new media model that we're wanting to experiment with. And all of you who are listening who won't be part of it, I appreciate your help in networking and making that happen.
Stephen, I also want to point out that something you said back in the 90s when I was just a fan on the Internet, just like everybody else wanting to learn about this stuff, you had said publicity is protection. And it seemed such an oxymoron at first. What the hell is he talking about? If you go public, you're safe. But the thing people have to understand is that it's the strength in numbers that actually protect us, not being afraid that if you donate money or if you get involved that somebody's going to come after you. It's just the opposite.
Correct. And that's what we did with disclosure, and that's what we've done with everything we've done with contact. Now we have thousands of people on CE5, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind contact teams, and you can see a world map. There's a link from our site to that, and you can become this team, part of this team. By the way, all the contact, the meditation protocols, the electronic tones that we send out over radio waves to the ETs, the whole protocol is now on an Android app and an iPhone app that you can get, and it's linked from our store, and there have been thousands of people doing it. We recently got a report from a truck driver in Eastern Europe who was practicing these protocols, and an ET craft came right over his truck, and he stopped and had this amazing contact experience.
Oh, God.
So this is happening worldwide because that's the power of consciousness, and as you know, David, the whole morphogenic fields of a conscious, a super consciousness that is really what our individualities are linked into all the time, whether we're aware of it or not.
Absolutely.
All right.
Well, this has been a wild ride. Thank you for bringing me on your show. I'm
thank you,
always
David.
amazed to hear your stories. It's like you are the only guy that's done all this stuff out there, and you really blazed the trail for the rest of us, and I might add that you did it during an era where the hate was much worse. So I think you encountered a lot more BS than people after you had to, because now it's becoming more socially acceptable. But back in the day you were doing this, I mean, people either loved you or they hated you, but
right.
Either extreme.
Right. Well, some things never change, but I do appreciate, David, you being on the show, and let's do it again. And I look forward to seeing you and everyone else at the premiere in Los Angeles on Earth Day, April 22nd, 2013.
Sounds like a wild party. 800 people? I'm there.
Yeah, and there's going to be an awesome after party we're going to have nearby at LA Live, and it's just going to be amazing. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
So thank you. Well, okay, I think our time is pretty much up. I'd like to thank the folks at the World Puja Network for hosting us here every 2 weeks. And until next time, keep looking up, and God bless.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.